So I got a phone call in middle December. The elders of the church had decided that my family was too controversial. And when I decided I was no longer publicly associated or doing the show, I could join the church. Heartbreaking, you have this belief that you believe to your core and they tell you can't be in it because your parents.
It's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, August 1st. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm getting really late to this page lately. I've been stuck in rabbit holes. Anyways, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Okay, sister wives. I did a video on Friday. Really fun one, right? I did predictions for my sister wives, Robyn. Okay, that did really well. You guys really enjoyed the video. Some of you did not agree with my predictions. Others of you did. Some of you were like, some of these are just so predictable. I'm gonna do more of those. They're fun. Okay. I have some news. I have a prediction. Babies are coming to sister wives.
Why does that make
Babies are coming to sister wives. Guess why? Guess why? Because another sister wife-ish is pregnant. Not a sister wife, actually. One of the kids is pregnant with baby number 3. That means that 2 of the girls that are married, which is only 3, is pregnant again, and it's Maddie. Mady Brown, or Brown Brush, is pregnant with number 3. So she shared the big news on her Instagram with a picture that says, this picture says it all. The Brush family is growing by one more early February. And it says Evie was wearing big sister and Axel's wearing big brother. And they have super, super cute smiles. So she is pregnant with baby number 3. And this actually is following her Evie, who has had quite the first few years of life, but appears to be doing phenomenally. So baby number 3 is on the way for Maddie. She is actually 26 years old already. Wow. And Caleb, who is almost 10 years older than her. So Christine, always the mom, said, I cannot wait for another baby, a grandbaby. And McKelty wrote, super congratulations, sister. So McKelty is due with twins, and Madison is due with a baby in February. So 2 more babies. So there'll be a total of 6 grandchildren in the family by next February. So there always were questions about if Cody was going to expand the brood, and Robyn was toying around with it a couple seasons ago about how her spirit babies in heaven hadn't all come down because there's this thing with their belief system. Oh, and I want to clear this up first off. Somebody was saying in one of my videos that the belief that you have to have X amount of wives in order to get into the celestial kingdom is only specific to certain sects of Mormonism, and it's not all Mormonism. And so I need to be more factual. And if I'm going to talk about the number of wives that you need in order to get to the celestial kingdom, I should at least know what I'm talking about. So just want to clarify that the number of wives needed based on what Kristen Decker told me, who was a member of the AUB, in their sect of the AUB, they need at least 3, and that's the minimum. The more that they have, the higher level they can go in the celestial kingdom. That's for the AUB. That has nothing to do with all fundamentalisms. That's the AUB. So Maddie, who is not going to be a sister wife and who never wanted to be a sister wife. In fact, she was very, do you remember back when Maddie was in high school and she was all like, I'm never going to be a sister wife. I don't want to share. This is not the life for me. I don't agree with it. She still is not going to be a sister wife. She doesn't agree with it. And she lives in North Carolina with her husband and her 2 children. Maddie does plexus with her mom, Janelle, and she has the 2 kids. So now she's going to have baby number 3. So Christine is excited for grandbaby, which proves to me that Christine and Janelle are still married. I was actually thinking about this because now that Christine is divorced from Cody, she really does not have any like spiritual connection. Well, she's not connected to Maddie, only in that she raised Maddie when she was married to Cody. Does that make sense? So I don't think that you sever that relationship. And again, I think Maddie would pick Christine over her dad. I mean, that's just me. I do wonder if Cody even has a relationship with some of these older kids now, because he's always talking about how the kids at the tender age are the ones that need the attention. And then once they become adults, it's up to the adults to do what they need to do. And he's not so like attached to them anymore. And he's really attached to the kids at the tender age, although I don't know what that means. But anyways, the tender age, he doesn't like teenagers. Cody doesn't like teens because he can't connect with them, because teenagers will not do what he says and won't adore him. Basically, that's the gist I get from Cody. Okay, so Axel and Evie are going to be siblings, going to have a new sibling. If you know anything about Evie, this specific birth for Madison is going to follow quite the hiccup she had with Evie, because Evie had to be transferred. She gave birth in a birth center, but had to be transferred due to some issues with her breathing not long after she was born. And after she was born, she had revealed that her daughter was born with a limb difference. So they had found out during an anatomy scan that she had what was called a fat co-diagnosis, which is fibular aplasia, tibial campomelia, and olysynodactyly. So she was born without a thumb and toe, and two of her fingers were fused together, and she was missing a fibula in her calf bone and had a boned tibia. So she actually had an amputation, I think a couple years ago, maybe a year ago, and she now has a prosthetic leg, and she just has limb differences. So they've been doing some surgeries, but she's totally otherwise developmentally on pace with every other child. She doesn't have any sort of developmental delays. It is more of a physical disability for Evie, but she's not letting that stop her at all. And she actually said this about Evie when she shared the diagnosis. She said, "After Evie was born, Jan Reeves told me that it was okay to mourn the life that I thought Evie would have." Those words I think every parent needs, especially those parents who parent children with a little extraness. Especially those who parent with a little extraness. After the ultrasound, that was the first time I allowed myself to really have a feeling on it other than it is what it is. We all want to give our children the best fighting chance. Most times that best fighting chance is different than what we think it would be. Evie's life will still look different than I thought, but that's okay. She was born just right. Live the life that gives her the best fighting chance. So they had talked about potentially doing a surgery that would lengthen the leg, but she decided not to when she found out that a lot of times those are hard to recover from and don't have really good prognosis, and ultimately have to have the amputation anyway. So to reduce the number of surgeries that her daughter had to have, Maddie and Caleb made the brave decision to have the part of the leg amputated, and so she has a prosthetic leg, and she learned how to walk, and she didn't miss a beat, and the little girl rocks the cutest little prosthetic leg. So Evie is a happy little girl, happy, smiley, and so this is just it's an anomaly that happens in pregnancy. It's very unlikely that she would have another child with the same disorder. So hopefully they will probably keep a very close eye on her pregnancy, my guess, because whenever you have a child that's born with any sort of anomaly like that, they will have scans, and you'll be considered higher risk because they want to make sure that everything is on par with the pregnancy. So I'm guessing she'll probably have a few extra scans, and she might have additional testing just to make sure that everything is okay. But she knows that she can handle whatever she gets because Evie is rocking it. So it's pretty exciting for Maddie to have a third child. You know, I was thinking about this. She had a lot of goals in her life. A lot of the girls did. And they just sort of got sidetracked. I feel sad about that. Maddie wanted to go to college, and she had wanted to be this independent woman, and now she's 26 and has 3 kids. So I think it's interesting that some of the girls that wanted to be super independent ended up marrying pretty young. She was only 19, I think, when she got married to Caleb, and same with McKelty. Aspen's been married to Mitch for years, and they don't have any children yet. So I think Aspen and Mitch are doing things a little bit differently. And then Logan, who is with his girlfriend that he's been with for years and years and years and years. They are still not married, but they recently built a home and moved into their house, and they have a whole new place, so they're doing really well. And then Hunter, who had been in school and was all the way on the other side of the country, is now back in Flagstaff living near his mom, and everyone is super happy. And over the weekend, Miss Christine was with Hunter, and they went to Medieval Days or something like that in Flagstaff with him. So they are enjoying having Hunter closer to home for the first time in a very long time. So what are your thoughts about the announcement about the baby and Hunter moving back home? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.